Guru Nation, welcome back to another episode of Random Musings from the Clinical Trials Guru. Very special guest, Carlos Amasquita. I've known him for what, 10 years? Not,
Uh,
yeah,
20,
yeah.
2014. What is that?
Okay,
Seven
so
years?
7,
Yeah,
8 years. It just
7 years.
feels like 10 because of all the stuff happening. But
Yeah,
basically, we hired you at my San Bernardino clinic way back in the day. Raw potential. The hardcore fans know because they watch. And then you've grown into a experience coordinator. Then you moved. I introduced you to another site near where you're moving. You got hired there. We did more videos. You did investigator initiated trials, microbiome, gastroenterology, and psychiatry. And now I kept interviewing you. I kept asking you about your career trajectory. Carlos, what do you want to accomplish? What is it that you're trying to achieve? You never really had a clear answer, but you just are about to get hired as a CRA with a
yeah.
company that we won't mention.
Okay.
There's only like 6 of them, so they're all the same. Um, some are better than others, but basically all the same at function wise. So, how did that come about? Like when? Because last time I interviewed you, you said no, no, CRA, maybe not, maybe you know how you do your answers. It's like I'm not sure. What made you change your mind?
Well, I was keeping you in suspense.
Keeping, yeah, I like the
I wanted
suspense.
you to stay hooked.
That's good. That's smart. You did it for the ratings. People don't know that you also are behind the scenes posting on the blogs, the Clinical Trials Guru. You can see the
Yeah.
logo. Carlos manages the blog, so if you see any typos, blame him. And also, he does the quotes on Instagram. He's been getting very good at those quotes. So he's been doing that for me, just on the side as a side gig for a couple years now. So holding them in suspense, I like that. All for the Guru brand. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. No, seriously, what made you change your mind, or maybe not change your mind, but what made you open to this, to
Uh,
CRA?
they actually approached me, which was I didn't expect that, and
But how
then
did they approach? Like, you put your resume somewhere, or they just found you on LinkedIn?
uh, just on LinkedIn, I really wasn't looking for.
Wow. Walk me through how that happened. So you just have a LinkedIn like everyone else.
Yeah, pretty
I didn't
bland
even know
actually.
you
I
had
don't
a
think
LinkedIn. You have a LinkedIn. I
I,
didn't even know you had a LinkedIn.
I have a LinkedIn to see what you're doing and try to see what you're doing so I can get ideas for quotes or
Ooh, okay. So Guru helped you get a job as a CRA.
yeah, very
Indirectly,
indirectly.
indirectly.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, now that I think of it, I do see you have a profile picture of like 10 years ago of you on
yeah,
LinkedIn.
yeah.
You need to
Actually, I was
update that
still
one, man.
yeah, yeah. That's when I was still a young coordinator.
So who approached you on LinkedIn? Like no names, but what like somebody from the CRO or a recruiter or what? Who and then how?
It was a recruiter that works for the CRO.
Okay. Directly for
So
this year.
yeah,
Okay. And
so
what did they say? Hey, not sure if you're looking.
yeah, they it was very well. I don't know. At first, it was kind of it seemed kind of generic. Just hi, like to connect. Those type of messages.
Oh, okay. So they started
Uh,
slowly then.
yeah, but then I responded, very politely. And then I think then they started mentioning that they had a position open, and they said that I think they said they had a position open, or I think they just wanted to talk about possible opportunities, and then I agreed to talk to them, and then that's when they mentioned it. So I don't remember. I'd have to look through my messages, but they either mentioned it before or during our conversation
I see.
on the
Okay,
phone.
so it was a series of courting and
Yeah,
inboxing.
yeah, but it was a conversation. It wasn't very. It seemed like I said, it seemed very like those typical messages that you'll get from people where they just want to connect
Hmm.
and and then I've just been responding to people just to be polite, kind
Just
of
to be polite.
yeah, well, kind of from you always say not to network, and so I thought, oh well, won't hurt. At least be polite. I've gotten a few people that have added me from I'm assuming from just being connected to you.
Yeah.
So I figured it was something like that. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't looking for anything, but I mean, if it was an opportunity, so
The opportunity presented itself.
yeah.
I'm imagining that the salary was significant to the point where you're like, okay, this definitely makes sense, right?
Uh, yeah. Afterwards, I found out about that. I mean, I wasn't really
No, so in the beginning you didn't really, you were just going
no.
along with it, like just the
Yeah,
network.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I figured. I mean, I know how much most CRAs will make, so
Were
I
they
had an
selling you
idea.
to try to get you like convinced to join
No,
or
no,
no?
it was it was kind of just it kind of really just it's probably not a very common story that or doesn't I don't think it happens very often where it just kind of like just slowly
A
builds to it.
coordinator that's not seeking it gets the
Yeah,
opportunity basically to be a CRA. It happens often enough. I mean,
that's okay.
it's not a normal route, but it does happen. Usually, a coordinator has to be like seeking, putting their resume out there. But look, that shows you what time we're in. 2021, people are short-staffed. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't find qualified researchers, um, and so these CROs are getting aggressive. They're going after the sites and saying, "Hey, on LinkedIn." This is why I tell everybody, get on LinkedIn. This is going to be interesting blog post for you to post because you're going to post yourself. So you're going to put young handsome man gets hired as CRA or something like that, right? As the blurb.
yeah, of course.
So how many interviews was it? Like, was it a phone call with the recruiter? Did you get another interview with someone else? Or like, how did it happen? Walk me through this process.
Well, let's see. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for saying too much, or I don't know. I don't really. I'm not. They haven't really uh,
You're
told
not even
what
officially
I told.
hired.
So
Yeah, you're
okay.
not even officially hired.
Well, it was mostly conversations with the recruiter. It was an interview with that recruiter, and then it was another interview with someone else inside the company,
Hmm.
and that was it.
Did you tell them part during the interview that you're part of the Latinos in clinical research?
I no, I didn't mention it.
You've got to start adding that. It carries weight now, Carlos. We gotta modify your LinkedIn profile. When you
Yeah,
update it with your new employer, you gotta add Latinos in clinical research on there.
yeah, I need
Because you've been with us through thick and thin from the inception.
yeah.
So what are you thinking about? Like, are you gonna be a traveling CRA? Are you gonna be remote site? Um, regional? Did they tell you anything?
They said it would be regional. They said it probably wouldn't be as much travel as some of the CRAs normally do. So they said it wouldn't be as much. You know how some CRAs are, something like 80% travel.
Yeah.
They said it'd be probably much lower than that.
Did they say why or why that would be
Um,
the case?
no, they didn't really explain it. Um, well, they did. They did explain it, but I'm just not sure if I should say it.
It has to do with COVID, decentralized trials,
A
or
little
the
bit of that, I think.
combination.
Yeah, yeah, I think a
I
little bit of that.
gotcha. I gotcha. They're all the CROs are shifting a little bit towards decentralized monitoring, but I mean, I've monitored you as a coordinator,
Yeah.
and we prefer in person. And most, if you talk to, we survey on Latinos in clinical research all the time. 80% prefer in person CRAs, CRCs. So it'll be interesting to see how that evolves over time. But at least initially, you won't be traveling too much,
Yeah.
is what they
I
said.
mean, things it could change. So
And if you do, it sounds like you'll just be driving because you're in Southern California, so you're within driving distance of like hundreds of sites.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Unless I
What
go up to
indication? What indication are you gonna do? Or they haven't
um
told you?
they haven't placed me, but it could be something like CNS. They also mentioned optometry, and they also mentioned oncology,
Oh wow.
which would be something new for me.
Yeah, that's definitely challenging. I do some oncology as well. It's the learning curve, but
Yeah.
you definitely can do it. I know you can do it. So that's interesting that the interview was not like they were not I guess because they already pre-selected you, so they weren't asking you tough questions like what do you do in case ICF is not signed or like things like that, or were they asking you these things?
Well, I think some of the questions were kind of interesting, but I think they weren't really trying to look for the correct answer, or at least that I think what I tried to do was just explain my reasoning. So I think they asked me questions that didn't have a correct answer, but just
Mm.
and they seemed like real world scenarios that they offered me, and I
Give us
think
one. Give Guru Nation one example if you can remember.
um, I think it was something like if you're at a site and you have to do 4 different activities, and then they want to know. They asked me which one would I focus on, and there was an element of time where I had a window to talk to the PI, and then so with that in mind, which activity would I do first, and then that was the question. But I don't like to just answer the question, so I explained why I would do that, um, and just kind of walked them through my thought process there.
Okay, so they were a little bit trying to ask you like tough questions, but really it was more to get a sense of your decision making um, in the field because they knew you weren't never a CRA, but they knew you
Yeah,
interacted with many CRAs. So okay, that makes sense. That makes
yeah.
sense. So relatively easy then the interview process.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was, well, I mean, it wasn't too stressful. I think just the people that interviewed me too, they were very relaxed, and they just kind of set it up to be a conversation, and it didn't seem confrontational or like they were really testing me.
Yeah, because they
Uh,
wanted you already. They already knew that. Was it
Probably.
a Zoom? Was it a Zoom call or like a Teams like we're
They,
doing now, or what was it?
yeah, you know what? Both of the interviews were Zoom.
Okay. And then there
Uh,
was two people you said interviewing you?
Two different people at 2 different times.
Oh, okay. So one on one both times.
Yeah, one both of them.
I gotcha. I gotcha. And then when are you supposed to know? Any day now?
Uh,
They're
I
just
think
doing reference
by
checks? Nobody called
yeah,
me. We went through my voicemail off camera,
yeah,
you saw. Nobody called.
yeah. No, I think they said by the 22nd, but
I see.
I feel like they gave me more time that they need, because even when they interviewed me, they said, "Oh, it'll be 2 weeks before we tell you, what we think," and um, I think the next business day they had an answer, and they had an
Mm,
offer.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they were
So
really
maybe
quick, actually.
now, maybe Carlos will like being a CRA now,
Yeah, maybe.
right?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely open to the experience.
You're open to new experience. And what are you looking forward to the most? Just learning and like this is a new chapter in your career. So what are you looking forward to? Are you just kind of taking it all in as it comes and you don't really have like are you looking like 5 year window down the road and saying this is what I want to do, or you're just taking it as it comes right now?
I think I'm taking it as it comes, but I could see myself, involved in, the CRO space has a lot of other jobs, not just CRA. So I could definitely see myself doing something else
Yeah.
in that space, or I mean, you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't think
What
I'd be a
opportunity.
CRA, or think I'd consider it for a long time. So I mean, who knows?
Well,
Maybe
remember
a few
when you
years
first
from now.
started working for my site, you said you wanted to be a CRA.
Yeah, I
Right?
did.
Then you changed your mind, and now somewhere down the road you changed it again, but that's
Yeah.
good. It's all about, I mean, the ability to change your mind is, I mean, this is what, life is about. Life is not, nothing is guaranteed, so it makes sense to want to experiment with different career paths. And you're still young, relatively young in your career, so you can continue to experiment. I mean, you don't,
Yeah.
and even if you're older, you can experiment as well, especially in a busy year like 2021. And it's just a matter of time when you get the monitoring experience under your belt. I think then, you think recruiters were hitting you up. Now, just wait till you get 2 years of monitoring under your belt.
Oh,
I mean, you'll see. Just make sure
okay.
you beef up your LinkedIn profile. You'll put the Latinos in clinical research on there because obviously the diversity, equality, and inclusion is a huge trend for a good reason. So they will be hitting you up a lot more.
Yeah, if yeah, maybe, yeah, I'll definitely look into my LinkedIn. I mean, I really underestimated it. I didn't for a long time I didn't really think much of it.
So you just literally
So
had your profile there. You updated your most recent job. You didn't even put Latinos in research, and they still hit you up.
yeah, I
That's
think they
good,
like
guy.
the experience that I had, and I think actually they did mention that they liked that I had a like a general. They mentioned the word general.
Really,
Yeah,
generalist? They're starting to
generalist.
talk like me now.
Yeah, yeah.
I see.
But they all
Okay.
said they didn't know you, so that was
They said they didn't.
they
Okay, we
didn't know
gotta
you,
change
but
that.
they were using your language.
We gotta change that. That's good that they don't know me. It means I still got room to go, like
Yeah,
more
yeah,
market share to take over. But they're talking about generalists. See,
yeah.
guys, I'm telling you guys this who are watching, and I'm not talking to Carlos now. I'm talking to you guys. This generalist stuff is real. Like the CROs, the sites especially, but CROs too. They want generalists. They want utility players. They want people that can be versatile. Swiss Army knife, like the quotes that you give me, Carlos.
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife. Okay, cool. So, any advice for, let's say, another coordinator somewhere watching that wants to be a CRA? Yeah, I talked to a lot of them, and they're like afraid to experiment. And your story is like so laid back because you weren't even doing anything, and they came after you. So, like, what advice do you have for somebody who's a coordinator, let's say in Iowa, at a hospital and wants to be a CRA? I mean, they don't really know what to do. What do you advise them to do?
Well, I think at least from where I'm standing, having the experience to show goes a long way. So I mean, even if you're a coordinator, as long as you're getting the experience, and then if you try to, I mean, at least it worked for me. If you expose yourself to other indications, not just one, I mean, it helped me. I don't know if it might help somebody else, but it definitely helped me. So I can
Wow,
attest to that.
that's gonna be good. I'm gonna put you on the spot right now, live. Do you want to be a Latinos in Clinical Research brand ambassador? All you got to do, you get a
Uh,
free T-shirt, and all you got to
okay.
do is post a picture here and there on Instagram and LinkedIn, and put it on your LinkedIn profile that you're a LICR brand ambassador. Do you accept
LICR.
this challenge?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I already post regularly. I mean, I don't post for myself, but I post regularly.
Because we are looking for strategic brand ambassadors. So you guys heard it here live. Carlos is going to be it. I'm going to send an email to all the girls in the team and Chris and CCU, and they'll send you details.
Okay.
We're lucky to have you because we need the CRO exposure as well. And the CRO that you're working for, they're going to like that you're in it too because they are trying to all get into this trend of diversity, equality, and inclusion.
Inclusion, yeah. We, that's the next blog if whoever's following.
That's right. That's right. So I'm excited for you, man. I guess we'll do following up, as but definitely we'll be in touch with the brand ambassadorship, and hopefully when you have time you can come on the Zoom calls and things like that. So we'd be happy to have you on board, and I'll send the email to the rest of the team because
Yeah.
they're all excited. Monica already knows you, Chris already knows you, but Ashley and Judy, they're gonna get to know you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And you're our first male brand ambassador. We have only two so far. They're both female, so you're our first male brand ambassador.
we
So
need
congrats.
we need males in research.
We do need more males in research. This is true. This is true. So awesome, Carlos. I appreciate you coming on. Good luck with your career. Guru Nation will be seeing more of you through doing the quotes. I'm going to have your LinkedIn profile underneath, and our newest Latinos in Clinical Research brand ambassador, Carlos Amesquita. Thank you very much. Any last words of advice, comments, suggestions for anyone watching? You get to speak to the people that you usually communicate through writing on my
Yeah.
blog. Now you get to talk to them. What do you have to say?
I would also just say to make sure not to make sure you stay that make sure that you that like I left your side, of course. So But we stayed with we had a good relationship afterwards. So definitely maintaining your relationships is a good thing. And
Don't
so
burn bridges.
exactly, yeah. And even right now with my PI, I kind of she's you know who it is. She's
Firecracker.
yeah, she is. She's very energetic. So I'm definitely gonna
Great
miss
hair
her.
though. Great
Yeah,
hair.
she has great hair. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss her. But
She's
hopefully,
good. She's a good PI, and she's
yeah,
definitely one to keep networking. She gets it, and
exactly. Yeah,
she definitely doesn't burn bridges. And who knows? You might even be monitoring her side. You're more likely
yeah.
to monitor our sites with the
It
CNS.
sounds like yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
And
you
then with
never know.
oncology too.
Yeah, she might take up a schizophrenia study one day. You never know. She might get
I also
a
know
sub
if
I.
they put you on oncology, I know some good oncologists in LA that
Okay.
that I actually monitor as well. So yeah, definitely keep networking. You're gonna do thank you for accepting the Latinos in Clinical Research brand
Yeah.
ambassadorship. It's not that hard, but just a little bit here and there, post something, and then try to make our Zoom calls. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I talked to Monica. I talked to Monica last week.
Okay,
Yeah. So
she'll be
so
excited to have you on.
yeah, just another day.
There you go. Another day at
Another
the
talk.
office for
Yeah.
Carlos. All right, man. I sent you enough pictures for you to have quotes for the next week. I'll try to get some more on Thursday as well.
Okay.
And congrats again. Let me know when it's official. Should be any minute now. And link to Carlos's LinkedIn in the show notes or under the video. So get to know him. Rising star in the space. Thank you, Carlos.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching, listening. Catch you all later. Bye bye.